Oh, welcome back to another Outerplane video. So, I get asked a lot how I progressed through the game and how I went units, and I had put out a progression guide. It was like one of my first videos. I guess it was a little confusing, so I thought I'd go back and we're gonna follow this account for the first 7 days. Show you guys. Even though it says day 2 here, I actually started the count like after the re-roll, like maybe 30 minutes before the reset. So it's technically the first day of the account. Um, like I said, I want to go back, and this is going to be mostly focused to newer players, but maybe some players that have been playing since the launch get something out of it. I feel like now is a good time to start since they give us a pretty good indication on how the gameplay loop is going to be, how events are going to be. And speaking of like events, like new players, I feel like I said, I have a pretty good head start on catching up because you have like the side story event right now that's going on, the double pieces, and then to get into the event, all you would have to do is complete chapter 2, and I highly suggest doing that. Um, because if we go here into the shop, you have access to something that day one players didn't have at the beginning, and that's this 5-star weapon here. And even though it's geared to Eternal, it works on other mages. Uh, you might not get as much from the passive as Eternal would, but the stats are decent on it, so it's going to help you progress, push content early, so you can progress further. They also give these little heirlooms here that are going to help you break through the weapon. You know, furthering the stat increase that you get from it. And making it much easier to push story, push tower. Um, that's something that we didn't have at the beginning. We didn't get our first 5-star legendary till like day 5 or something like that. Um, so I'm capped out on the stamina. I'm going to burn it off for the reset, of course. Again, I want to emphasize the importance of like re-rolling. Sure, you can't get the characters Veronica and Ren. They're going to, of course, be on the tier list, but the new banner Eternal and Veronica will give your account. You know, those characters are going to help you push content, and they're going to be those characters that you're going to focus on to do your gear grind and end game stuff. Well, we'll get into that later on, but on the topic of like re-rolling and stuff, I'm gonna go in here, and the game is pretty generous. Like there's codes and you know pre-registration rewards, so you want to re-roll your account and get the best start that you can. I did my initial with the codes and the pre-registration. It's about 5 pulls, and I ended up getting lucky and getting Veronica and Eternal in those 5 pools. Now, when you're re-rolling, you should really be focusing more on trying to get Veronica, because she's gonna be the character that's gonna, I feel like, carry you further into the game. Like, not to say that Eternal's not good, she's really good in PvE, and if you can get her, she should be your secondary target, because she's going to help too. But Veronica is going to be our long term. I feel like the character is going to benefit your account in the long term. Um, so briefly, I'll just go over. Now, I feel like there was like a misconception of like you need like crazy gear to do like end game stuff. You really don't. And I just want to show off I'm just running around with like. Of course, I got the 5-star weapon, and then I'm just running around with like whatever gear that the game gives me. Like you don't need crazy stats to push content. You just want to. This game is more progression based than character based. So you want to push content as far as you can before you start coming back and working on your characters, because you're gonna waste resources upgrading gear and you know, looking for stats that you can look for later on. So like I said, I'm just like most of my stuff's not even upgraded, and I'm not having a problem with um, progress right now. Now when I said you don't want to be worried about gear, but you do occasionally want to look at your gear, because there are some pieces that you could be like that will help. Now accessories are the only equipment piece that can roll a speed main stat, and that's not it. Let's go to my accessories here. You see, I got lucky, and I got some early speed pieces, and they're not like, they don't have like the greatest stats on them, but you know it's a game of speed like early on, so that just looking for pieces like that will help you speed tune your team early and stuff like that. Like I said, it's not that important, but like if you can like find little pieces like that will help your account like in the early goings. So let's go back to the characters. So I also just wanted to see how far I could push content without breaking through characters. So I do have the materials to break through all these other characters, but for research purposes, I just was trying to see if Eternal could carry a team. So progress-wise, I made it to chapter 8 of the story. Sorry about the background noise, guys. I made it this far, no problem. Challenge 15. I stopped because I'm going to be doing like a guide for Tower as well, so be looking forward to that. I got Chimera down to 7, and just slowly working on this one here. Now, one of the main ways I do progress faster is I reset these. I buy my daily challenge tickets. You see how I don't have any left, so I buy that for gold and for the bandit hunt, and I'll do that for the first 7 days. Like every day, I'll buy both. And you don't gotta worry about it being like an ether sink or anything like that, because you can see my ether. I got 8,227. When I did my initial pools, I had 70. So that shows how generous they are with like ether and stuff like that. So I highly suggest like resetting your challenges, because they had mentioned that they were gonna increase the number of challenges that you get per day, but they haven't yet. So that's gonna help you push gold, start to get your gold, push content. It's gonna help you with your EXP and stuff like that. So the other thing I do stamina refreshes, and I would use you get for 50 friend points you get 30, and then for 15 arena points you get 30. And I use these, and then I use my resets here down to 4, and I'll do that for the first 7 days as well. And like again, you can reset as many times as you want. I just go down to 4 because then it starts to get kind of expensive. Um, but it's another way. It's another way to progress their account faster because you'll have more stamina. You'll be able to grind more stages. A lot of people don't like that, but again, um, they're so generous. Like right now, early on, I don't feel like it's going to hurt you in the long run to do some refreshes, at least for your first 7 days. After that, I would say it's up to you. On my main, I still do stamina refreshes. I'm not still not having a problem with ether. And why I don't have a problem with ether is you just want to another thing is you want to plan your pools out. Okay, you don't need to pool on every banner. You don't need to pool for dupes. The game does a pretty good job of getting you access to you know starring up your characters in the side story, and that's another thing that I want to touch on right now, especially with the event going on, is do your side story. This is important. Do your side story every day. Right now, you're getting a double reward, so you'll be getting 10 shards a day or 20 shards a day. So right now it's 10 days. 20 shards a day, 10 days, at the end of the event, you'll have 200 shards. So, that's a 4-star right there. Um, so, like, as you're progressing, like I said, I feel like people see, I guess the CP difference isn't that much here, but as I go further in, the enemy team will be is in the middle of chapter 8. There's a power spike here, and their CP will be higher than yours. Don't let that discourage you from attempting to stage, because CP is very deceiving in this game. Sometimes the enemy teams will have more CP than you, but you can still go through the stage. Just give it a couple of tries, and if you can't go through it, then that's when you go back, and that's when you start messing with your gear, leveling up your heroes. Just be mindful of your resources. And now we're going to touch on resources kind of briefly. One of the things that you want to be very, very conservative with is your skill manuals here. Now, they are going to give out a lot at the beginning, and don't let that deceive you, because you still need to be quite picky on who you level up and who you skill up. As you can see, going my characters here, for the most part, level 2s on everything will get you through most of the content. Skill books are limited, so you're gonna have to raise these up slowly. I know there's a lot of guides and stuff saying go to 5 on this. I'm telling you, I've gone through the game twice now, and I haven't had to. There's no need to do that. Just be very conservative with your books. With the event, the guild rate came out. If you joined a guild, you're gonna have to build out 12 characters. So just be mindful of that. Skill books are one of those resources that you shouldn't be wasting. Your gold, ether, that's fine. That's replaceable. But those skill books are, you can only get a certain amount a week. And just because they're giving them out hand over foot right now, doesn't mean that you should be wasting them. I hear a lot of people say they're getting stuck. I don't feel like you're getting stuck per se. If you ever feel like you can't pass the stage, there's a lot of content in the game for you to, go get resources, go get gear, level up your characters, just try different things. Another thing I want to emphasize is friend units. Go out there, add some people, use their friend units if you can't pass stages. Never feel like you need to like uh, get some crazy gear or fully reforged level 3-star or 4-star gear. You're not going to need that level of power. All the early gear is replaceable. The game does a pretty good job of giving you the gear that you need to get through at least the normal story. So we touched on gear, skill books, resets. You're going to make sure that you're following this path down here, because that's where you're going to get a lot of your early resources too, okay? And then you also want to go in here in adventure. I haven't finished it on mine, but you want to do these tactical, and they're all like tutorial battles, but they give you some resources that, ether, gold. I believe there's some breakthrough materials down there. So now, on the topic of breakthrough materials, like we all know that you go through the challenge dungeon, you go through. So right now it's light and dark. So there is a point in the game where you hit level 40 and you're gonna have to break through, or you're gonna feel that you need to break through. And if it's not the day, if it's not the day for the unit that you're looking to break through on the dungeon stage, you can actually go back and just farm, the breakthrough materials from the story mode as well. So there's never any real reason to be, you can't see the air quotes, stuck, because there's resources that they give you that you can go back and just take your time. That's the main thing. I feel like a lot of people are just trying to rush to catch up. They see these content creators with all kinds of crazy gear already, and clearing content in like 2 minutes, and there's no rush for that. I mean, work at your own pace. The tools are here for you to succeed. It's not like the game is trying to lock you out of any content or anything like that. I think they're pretty generous, like for this first half of the game. So, like I said, that's pretty much what I've done for day one. Like I said, we're gonna follow this for the first 7 days, and I have some more like tips and things that work for me, and hopefully they help you out. But I think that's all I got for right now. I'll see you guys on day 2 video.